Today, when students came in, they noticed that the Grinch had changed our acronym. It normally says Go Be Great, but today it said Go Be Grinch. Gross, rude, insane, nasty, crabby, and hateful was the acronym the Grinch chose for us today. They came into lots of challenges. So very first, I was the Grinch and was calling them the wrong names and just being very Grinchy and mocking anything they said or asked me. We also watched some clips from the movie. Time the students were being Grinchy, the Grinch got to color in the heart with brown, and anytime they were being the opposite of Grinchy by showing Christmas cheer, they got to color it in with turquoise, which is Miss Mahan's favorite color. After completing morning work and filling the Grinch in on how our classroom worked, we had a letter from the Grinch that informed us that our elf had been stolen and our teacher had in fact been turned into the Grinch, and they had to solve all of the puzzles in order to save both of them today. First thing students did was complete a breakout, which I purchased from the Escape Classroom. So to find their team, they were given a card and they had to find all the members of their team that had a synonym for their word. I had verified that they were indeed all on the same team. They got this first clue, and I got this from the Escape Classroom, but I modified it to be about the Grinch. We've been working on context clues, so they had to solve this, which told them which cup to go to. As you can see, they have to decide which answer it is and which cup. If they selected the wrong cup, it would have a challenge like sing I'm a little teapot before you can continue. Again, I got this from the Escape Classroom, so it was already created for me. The correct clue gave them a hint, which said code, bottom, order, top. So they had to figure out that the code was actually on the bottom of the cups and that it went in the order of the cups. They gave me that code, got their next clue. Once they told me those four numbers, they got their next clue. This was taped to the board. And so then this was a pretty hard assignment. They had to read the sentence and then go find the corresponding clues. And if you can see that little letter in the bottom, hard assignment, and they only got 2 hints that came with a time penalty, so they really had to work as a team. But when they finally got it together, it spelled out same code. So they used those same 4 numbers from the cups to unlock a padlock on a chest. Team had one of these at their table and it had a padlock right here. So I got these from Donors Choose and they used that code to unlock their padlock, and inside was the next clue. They had to match up words from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas like we've been working on. Change this to be words from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but this whole general idea came from the Escape Classroom. So the directions said they had to match up the synonyms, then they had to reverse them, then they had to add the first code to them. So it was great for following directions. There's a key chest up at the front of the room that I had 2 locks on using a hasp. So it had a letter lock and then a padlock that needed a key. So the final clue that was hidden up by the board told them to look for a 5-letter word in 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So as teams finished, I collected their team sign, and up in this top there were several keys. I had just purchased Dollar Tree padlock keys and used those. This is the real key, but there were lots in here at the time, and they got to select a key as they finished. In order to try a key on the padlock, you had to tell me the definition of a word from 'Twas the Night, which is what we've been working on for the past 2 weeks. So the sooner you were done, the more tries that you got, and the first team to unlock it kind of stopped the clock for the other teams. The final clue, it had also told them that there was a 5-letter word from 'Twas the Night that would unlock the very last lock. And so they had to brainstorm words, and then they were allowed to ask the Grinch questions like what part of speech, the definition, and those kind of things to figure it out. Another thing we did today was watch the Grinch read aloud on this link. It's awesome. I highly suggest it. And as they did that, we looked for rhyming words, and then they had to fill out a story map. We've been really focusing on the elements of fiction and using details in our maps. The story map was very simple. They just split their paper into fourths, and we did character setting, problem, and then resolution and theme were in the same box. But I just wanted to show you, look at the detail on some of these papers. They were so engaged. They opened the key chest to find our elf. They saved the elf, and then they had to solve several other puzzles throughout the day to save Miss Mahan. This was an idea inspired by Hope King. They had to solve a math problem to earn a letter, and then that gave them the answer to the joke. The other thing we did today was to introduce similes and metaphors. The Grinch told the kids that he brought something new and difficult for them on purpose because he couldn't wait to see them whine and quit and give up, and so they were extremely motivated to learn this new content right before break. Far my favorite part of today, and I think the kids too, was just being in character all day and really playing up the Grinch aspect, kind of playing devil's advocate, and by emphasizing that they should do things the wrong way, they actually did things amazingly well, especially for this time of year. Miss Mahan will be back, but she's going to discover that the Grinch got a hold of her lesson plans before he left, and he took some of our word problems and he has Grinched them. He's put in a lot of extra info that the kids are going to have to differentiate between and get through to solve the word problem. Working through the Magic of Math unit created by Hope King and Amy Lemons, and we are on the multiplication word problem week. And this week the Grinch sent us some word problems that had way too much information trying to trick us, so we had to determine what was important and what was not.